Mentioned in our risers, Emeka Egbuka, the rookie wide receiver for the Bucs. On the fallers, Chris Godwin, simply because of health. The Pooter reports Scott Reynolds, who's been covering the team for a long time,
does a great job.
Would be shocked if Chris Godwin doesn't start the year on the PUP list. So if you need a high-level wide receiver for those first 4 games, don't expect it right now from Chris Godwin.
Yeah, but you know what?
Which I think is fine.
Totally fine. Again, when you are constructing your roster, you are not constructing a roster that needs to win every single week. You are constructing an entire team that each week gives you the optionality to build the best possible team, especially if you have an IR spot. I'd much rather Chris Godwin than Brandon Ayuk at cost. Ayuk I think is interesting too, but my sense is that Ayuk's going to miss more time, and I think there's more questions about it. People forget Ayuk was not good last year. Yep. Now, I think he's an insanely talented wide receiver. I think they will, when he is finally back healthy, I think he'll be good. Don't get it twisted here. But I will say that I do think Chris Godwin, who was like wide receiver 7 last year before he got hurt. Right. And so check on Fantasy Life. Where's Chris Godwin going right now?
So in redraft, he is the 36th wide receiver taken. The ADP's around 97. Think of the
10th round.
Deebo Samuel, Stephon Diggs, Jordan Addison, Jerry Jeudy range, which that's laughable. I'd want him over all of those guys. I could afford to be patient.
Yeah, because, by the way, okay, great. Throw him on an IR spot for 4 weeks. You're not hitting buys yet. You shouldn't need him right there. But then you've got potentially a top 10, maybe top 20 wide receiver for the rest of the way that you got in the 10th round. It's not like Chris Godwin, some flyer that you're taking in the 10th round going I hope this guy pays off.
Godwin.
It's Chris Godwin. When he's out there, he's going to be really effing good.
Yeah. The first 4 weeks as well, the Bucs, they play the Falcons in week 1. They may not throw a pass in that game because they're just going to run it down Atlanta's throat. The Atlanta run defense does not look particularly inspiring. And then it's Jets, Texans, Eagles. These are brutal defensive matchups. So it's not like he's going to miss out really on feasting on the weakest defense in the league in the pass game.
This next question from Tyler Olson is drafting Egbuka before Godwin justified? I just don't think you have to right now. And maybe this changes by the time you draft, but for context, Emeka Egbuka is going around pick 109, Godwin's going around pick 97. So know your league mates. If they're higher on rookies than typical players, then maybe you do. Probably not.
I don't know if I would use the word justified. Is it crazy? Is it unthinkable? No, of course not. There's absolutely a scenario where, as Jay said, where Emeka Egbuka is your best wide receiver on one of the best offenses in football. We assume Chris Godwin's going to come back after 4 weeks and be Chris Godwin in capital letters, but he may suffer a setback. It may take him a while to get up to speed. He may see different coverages. That's not crazy at all. We really like Emeka Egbuka as well. So no, it's not crazy.
Another wide receiver faller, you mentioned him, Matthew, Brandon Ayuk. Kyle Shanahan said Ayuk, with coming back from the knee injury, is on track to be back around week 6. So I kind of get the sense, Matthew, this isn't a patience issue you have with him, but more of we don't know if he'll actually be that great when he's back.
He had the held out last year, and then he came back, and he wasn't great, and then he gets hurt, right? And so it's all small sample size stuff, but their offense is going to look different, right? And so this will be the first time we've seen without Deebo Samuel, and we're going to see Ricky Pearsall and hopefully Juwan Jennings out there and a healthy Christian McCaffrey, right? And so there's just so much unknown. The other thing is that the expectations is that Ayuk comes back in week 6, but we don't know. And, if there's a team in the NFL that I don't trust at all, to be honest about when their players are coming back, it's the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, we've seen it a million times, right? Ayuk coming back in week 10 wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
Or coming back. You just don't know. And so in a game of variance, which fantasy football is nothing but variance, and all you're trying to do is trying to limit your risk, try to cut down on as much variance as you can, there's just a massive wide range of outcomes on Brandon Ayuk.
And the thing is, okay, so say he gets back in week 6. Well, he's going to be on a snap count to start. He's not going to be full go so maybe he's ramping up by week 10, 11, 12, full. There are worlds where Brandon Ayuk is the number 5 guy on the Niners offense. McCaffrey, Kittle, Pearsall, Juwan Jennings. They could all be in front of Ayuk in the pecking order, particularly given he's coming off a serious injury.
All right, in their first 5 games, Seahawks, Saints, Cardinals, Jaguars, Rams, which a lot of mystery around the Rams at Stafford right now. Say the Niners are 3-2 after that, and the offense looks pretty good with Ricky Pearsall getting a lot of targets, Jennings getting enough targets. Kittle and McCaffrey, they're not just going to force Ayuk back in, like you said, on this high volume rate, Jay. So week 6 is like the date in your head, but if you want the real Brandon Ayuk, it might be week 9 or 10, like you said.
They've invested a ton of money on him. And, he signed to the massive deal the previous year, and so they're going to want to be careful with him, especially if they don't, quote unquote, need him immediately. If they're rolling and they feel pretty good about where they're at, they're playing the long game. The San Francisco 49ers think they have a shot at the Super Bowl this year, and they do. If they stay healthy, they legitimately do.
Even though they went like 6-11 last year, last in the division, they're the 3rd favorite to win the NFC right now. I think people are surprised by it, but not a lot of respect for the Commanders, or in my mind, the Packers. But they are a Super Bowl contender.
Our next faller, your Commanders wide receiver, Matthew, for now, Terry McLaurin, activated from the PUP list on Saturday. This is much different than all the other players we've talked about, because McLaurin is being drafted as a top 20 wide receiver. You're using a top 45 pick on him. So the expectations are really high here, Matthew, and obviously there's a lot of risk associated.
There's 100% risk because there's multiple risks, right? Number one is that like he keeps holding out, and I don't think he will. Honestly, at some point, like when you start missing game checks, like that's real money.
Right.
That's real money. What is he making? Like something like $15-16 million a year this year. So he's any game he sits out, he's just, hey, that's $1 million I'm just giving away. Yeah. Before you even get to the fine. So I think ultimately, and I know Commanders want to get something done, so they're a little bit apart, but I'm sure at some point that will get figured out. So I expect him to be there. But there is a chance that he does miss some time. I don't know how great that chance is, but there is a chance. We know he's been working out, but working out on his own is different than working out with a team. He now finally, for one of the pro Terry McLaurin arguments for years and years was he was the only guy on the team. But now with Deebo Samuel, there's a legit competition for targets. Now they also have a great quarterback for the first time in McLaurin's career. But the other thing is last year he had a career high 13 touchdowns. He's never been a massive touchdown scorer. And the question is that because of the kind of player he is, or is that just because he's had Kyle Allen as his quarterback and Garrett Gilbert and he literally has those are real names of actual quarterbacks that have thrown passes to him. Taylor Heineke. He's just had. It's just been Carson Wentz. It's just not been a great Alex Smith on one leg. It just hasn't been a great series of quarterbacks. Yeah, go for it.
Case Keenum, Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace, Colt McCoy, Alex Smith, Kyle Allen, Taylor Heineke, Garrett Gilbert, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Carson Wentz, and Sam Howell.
Yeah. It's just the volume of names. Also,
right. Can't even develop a chemistry.
Yeah. So DraftKings has Terry McLaurin's next team. The Commanders are the favorite at -380. -380 implies a 79% chance. He's more than a 79% chance to play his next step for the Washington Commanders. I think that's again, not knowing any of the inside stuff, but I would say that's a 95% chance he should be -2,000.
Yeah, they're not trading him. Yeah. They're just not trading him. So anyway, I agree with that. But I do think fantasy-wise there's some risk because where he's being drafted, you're counting on kind of last season's numbers, and I think I've actually said this about the Commanders in general. I think the Commanders are going to be a better NFL team this year because the improvements in the offensive line and adding Deebo Samuel and some additions they made on defense, and they're actually going to have a worse record.
Sure.
Last year, everything that could have gone right for them did. Every single bounce went their way, the Hail Mary. They won. They won. What is it? 6 games, 7 games on the last possession. Just every single thing that went right for them. Down. Yeah, just went right from them. They stayed relatively healthy, and so I actually think they'll be a better NFL team this year with actually a worse NFL record than they had last year. Still, I think they're still in the playoffs, but so anyway.
A couple deeper league fallers, Matthew. We have to start, of course, with Matthew Stafford, as this doesn't look to be getting any better.
No timetable for his return. The back injury continues to linger, and the longer this goes on, again, he's when we see him out of practice, which is good.
This just came in, by the way, from the Rams official account that he's out at practice. So we'll see what he does. But leading up to this,
looks like he's walking gingerly.
There's been enough concern, and you got to get him ramped up, ready to play an NFL game.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Hopefully, that's a good sign. Hopefully.
Yeah.
And Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter week 1 for Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, Isaiah Likely, by the way, had foot surgery on August 1st. There's a 6 to 8 week timetable, so there's a chance he's not back for week 1. It's kind of crazy. If you'd asked me a month ago, or 3 months ago, who's the starting tight end of the Ravens? Be like, Isaiah Likely on week 1. Mark Andrews won't even be on the team, and yet looks like that's going to be the opposite here, that Likely might be out week 1. Mark Andrews is still there. Trey Harris has been having an inconsistent camp. We've got the KLS hype that we've talked about quite a bit. But there is some hope, and not that you're ever rooting for this, but Quentin Johnson, stop me if you've heard this before, is struggling in camp. Also, unfortunately, left early with a concussion.
Brutal hit.
Yeah,
Scary
brutal hit. Very scary hit. So we're hoping QJ is a lot better, but certainly maybe that opens an opportunity for Trey Harris to earn some more playing time. I still believe in Kyle Williams.
He looks good in his routes. They just can't get him the ball even when he's open.
Yeah, it's weird, but he's been playing behind Matt Collins, Pop Douglas, and Kayshon Boutte so far this preseason. I still think ultimately Kyle Williams ends up getting significant playing time, but it's taken a little while. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and Rotoworld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.